Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Hi everyone and welcome to Cognitive Recalibration. As always, I'm your host Shravan. We have Torrin here with us. This is a special episode. We are going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con and namely the Marvel panel.
Namely Top Gun Maverick.
We can talk about that if you want.
No, that's all we're going to talk about.
Marvel really turned up at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
And Top Gun Maverick as well.
Was Tom Cruise there?
I don't know. Yeah, he was actually. Yeah, he was.
And Star Trek had a big panel as well.
I think so. Picard's back, so.
We'll mainly be talking about the Marvel panel because they've announced all of Phase 4.
Not all of Phase 4.
Is it not all of it? So there's more. So part of Phase 4.
Part of Phase 4, yeah.
Up till, I think, 2022. And they had some big names that came out as well. So we'll talk about all of that. I've got some speculation about what these movies and TV shows are about. So we'll talk about that too.
I've got lots of speculation about what Top Gun Maverick's about, so.
When's that actually coming out? Next year, right?
Top Gun?
Yeah.
Is it this year?
I think it's 2020. I think it's summer 2020, yeah. Before we get into all of that though, I wrote a Who Am I up last minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it a Top Gun Maverick related Who Am I?
No, if I knew we were going to talk about that, I would have got one. But it's a Marvel related one. And I think it's related to one of the movies in the slate for Phase 4.
Okay.
I'm giving you an extra clue just there. I have the unique ability to duplicate physical movements I've seen.
I already know it.
Do you?
I already know it, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep going. I have the unique ability to duplicate physical movements I've seen, something I call physical reflexes. I combine these skills with a set of weapons similar to those used by the superheroes to transform myself into a dangerous villain. Eventually, I decided that training criminals made more sense than committing crimes, so I set up a series of academies to train henchmen. I am 188 centimeters tall and weigh 100 kilograms. I switched to metrics.
Yeah, good.
Metric units. So, who am I?
After our discussion last episode, I already know. Do you want me to say it now?
No.
Because we're probably going to talk about it soon, so.
How do you know it's that, though?
I 100% know who it is.
Okay.
Okay. 120% know who it is.
We'll leave it till the end, because you might still be wrong. You haven't had a good track record with these Who Am I, so.
I'm 300% sure who this person is. If I get it wrong, then I'm never going to appear on this podcast again.
Okay, all right. We'll jump onto the Marvel panel. The first movie coming out next year.
Top Gun Maverick.
I think that is actually coming out first, before all of these movies. But the first movie on the Marvel slate, 1st of May 2020, is Black Widow. They had some footage for this movie, as well, as they had the main cast, so Scarlett Johansson was there, David Harbour.
Florence Pugh.
Yes.
Is that how you say the last name? Or is it Poe?
I think it's Poe.
I hope it's Poe, for her sake.
She's in
Fighting With My Family.
Yeah, that's right. She's in that. And she's in Midsommar.
And Rachel Weisz.
Yes, she's in it too. And there was this other guy as well. I forgot his name.
David Harbour.
No, there was another guy apart from him.
Kevin Feige?
No, there was an actor.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
There's another actor. Because I just watched all the panels, so
yeah.
There was another guy. He didn't say much though, so I don't know how important.
Are you sure he wasn't just like the stage coordinator?
No, he was standing right in the middle. He was standing right in the middle of them. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Apparently, it's a post-Civil War, between Civil War and Infinity War. That's when it's set.
But also, there's strong speculation that there'll be flashbacks to the past.
And apparently they had some footage from Budapest.
Yes, but I think that's a post-Civil War Budapest. I think. I'm not sure, actually. But they showed her fighting, what's Florence Pugh's character's name again? I'm going to say Pugh from now on. Even if her name's Poe, I'm going to just say Pugh.
Yelena Belova.
It was Black Widow fighting her. And then they also had some footage of Black Widow fighting Taskmaster. Is that right?
Yes, I think it's Taskmaster, yes. Apparently they gave everyone hats, Black Widow hats.
They did. I saw the hats. They weren't great.
I mean, they were just black hats with
the Black Widow logo on it. Yeah.
Luckily, the logo wasn't in black as well, because then, what's the point?
Then it's a black hat.
There's speculation that Florence Pugh, yeah, so she might be set up as the new Black Widow after this.
Well, her character is in the comics. So she's one of the other Black Widow program people.
It might not just be a solo Black Widow movie. It might be also setting up for future Black Widow movies, but not with Scarlett Johansson.
You watched the panel, didn't you? I didn't watch all the panels. I just read some shit. Didn't David Harbour say his character has a mixed... No, he said he has a mixed feelings about Captain America or something?
Yeah, so he was wearing a Captain America shirt.
Yeah.
Well, they asked him, like, are you happy that your fan base is expanding to Marvel fans as well? And he's like, yeah, of course I am. And then he pointed at his shirt. He's like, yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan. And then they're like, do you like Captain America? And he's like, yeah, I've got mixed feelings about Captain America.
Yeah, so there's speculation that his character is somehow related to Captain America.
I mean, they didn't say anything about his character.
He's Alexei. That's his name.
Is it?
Yeah, legit. It's Alexei.
Okay, yeah, they didn't say if he was.
He's
bad
playing
or
Alexei from Stranger Things. It's like this really self-referential universe.
Yeah, like most of the people just didn't say much. Like then the main conversation in this panel was that it was almost everyone's first Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone
I don't watch the panels because 90% of the time they're complete shit. It's just boring.
Yeah, they didn't say much, and it was pretty quick. It was only like 5 to 10 minutes long. It wasn't long.
And what happens is they say a couple of words, but someone asks them a question. They say a couple of words. They don't say anything too exciting, but the crowd just goes off. They just start screaming. And I'm like, they didn't say anything exciting, guys. Why are you screaming?
There's questions as well. They're screened, so they're not like just random questions. I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige comes up with the questions before they go in.
Okay. Yeah,
So
they don't want to ask too hard questions.
Yeah, so they're pre-screened questions, and I'm pretty sure some of the actors also know what they're going to be asked, so they're kind of prepared as well.
Yeah, it's shit. Yeah. Other than the fact that they announce everything else is shit.
But yeah, they didn't say much apart from it's their first Comic-Cons, so that was it. Obviously, it wasn't Scarlett Johansson's or David Harbour's, but I think everyone else on the stage, it was their first.
Florence Pugh's.
Yes, it was her first. Anything else on Black Widow?
Well, speculation-wise, I think we talked about it a little bit already, but yeah, I think Florence Pugh's character will probably become either a good Black Widow or she could become the Crimson Widow, who's like a bad Black Widow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the only good thing that she said was that she's like a sister figure to Black Widow, like to Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow.
Yeah, I think in the comics she's bad.
But we'll have to see what they do with this one.
And David Harbour might be playing Taskmaster.
Possibly. They didn't say who was Taskmaster. There was that other guy. He might be Taskmaster.
Yeah, true. Taskmaster's always under a mask, so I guess you can get anyone for it.
The next movie is Eternals. So we sort of knew
this
about
was
this
a
one.
shit panel, wasn't it?
No, it was really shit. It was this movie is coming out on the 8th of November 2020.
They didn't really give much away at all.
So they didn't have any footage either because they haven't started shooting. So they
Good cast though.
Yeah, they just announced the cast and the director. So she was there. I think she's only made like 2 movies, but they're like indie movies.
We already knew
who
the
director
and
was,
the cast. Yeah.
And same with Black Widow. She was like a smaller director. She's from Canberra.
Both female directors.
Eternals, there wasn't much. I just watched the panel. They're all just like...
So excited to be part of Marvel Universe. I love these movies. I can't wait to work with Kevin Feige and the rest of the cast. It's so good to be at Comic-Con. It's so good to see all you guys so excited about everything. I love you guys. Is that what they said?
Pretty much. And everyone just screamed and went crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing I got out of the panel was that Salma Hayek's character is the leader of the Eternals.
I think the main characters will be Angelina Jolie and Richard Madden's character.
There's quite a few of them, though, in the cast. So there's this little girl. There's this Asian guy. There's this black guy.
And then there's Kumail Nanjiani.
And they've pretty much got all the races covered. So they've got like a brown guy, a black guy, an Asian guy, like a Latino woman, Angelina Jolie, and they got this like British guy, Richard Madden. So, but
ages ago, I think they released some information about this, and they said it would be a love story.
Yeah, so Kumail Nanjiani was saying that this movie is like multiple genres in one. So they were asking him, like, you generally do comedy movies and now you're in a Marvel movie. What do you think? And he's like, but Marvel movies are just every genre in one.
It will be an action movie. That's a given because Marvel movies are all action movies.
But it will obviously have comedy because all Marvel movies also have comedy.
Marvel movies have comedy now as well. And I think the underlying thing is going to be a love story, apparently.
Between...
well, I'm not sure, but maybe Richard Madden and Angelina Jolie. But basically, the Eternals are these creatures created by the Celestials to look like humans, but they're eternal. So that'll be interesting.
It's interesting that they haven't actually started. I think they have started shooting, but not much. Like
they don't have enough to show any footage, I don't think. I think it's going to be very CGI heavy because the characters aren't going to look completely human, I think.
There was one guy who's played by the Asian guy, and they asked him if his character is stronger than the Hulk. So maybe he's like a fully CGI character. I don't know anything about the Eternals, so I don't know.
I don't know anything about the Eternals as well. And apparently the little girl's playing the oldest character in Marvel. Is that right? You watched the...
Yeah, that's what they asked her. But I think they're all old, though.
But she's meant to be the oldest.
All she said was that I watch Marvel movies with my family, and now I'm in one. That's all she said.
Okay, yeah. Good work, little girl. I was hoping that little girl would be Millie Bobby Brown, but...
The girl's actually younger than Millie Bobby Brown. She looks pretty young.
Maybe Millie was too old. Or maybe it was just not that much of a big part. But yeah, nothing much about Eternals. And I don't know much about Eternals, so we'll just wait and see. That could be like Guardians.
The next thing on the slate comes out before Eternals is Falcon and Winter Soldier. This is on Disney Plus. It's the TV show.
They showed some footage of this as well.
Yes, they did have some footage, and I didn't see the footage because they didn't have it in the video, but I know what was in the footage. This is coming out fall 2020.
What's fall? I don't get these American...
Fall is autumn, which is our spring, which means it'll come out around September.
Okay, yeah.
So just before Eternals. But yes, the important thing in this, so that Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan came onto stage. They came with the shield. They said some stuff, nothing important. And then they had this footage of Daniel Bruhl as Zemo, but now he's actually Baron Zemo. And he had the mask from the comics. So he had the purple mask.
I wonder how that's going to look. Because in the comics, I don't know how that will translate into real life. The comics, it looks good, but it's comics.
He doesn't have any superpowers. So in the comics, he's kind of superhuman, isn't he? Because he takes on like Captain America and stuff.
He's not. In the comics, everyone takes on everyone. It doesn't matter.
I think he has some sort of ability, though. I don't think he's... Because the Zemo that we saw, he's just a guy. Like, he doesn't have anything.
He's just a guy in the comics as well.
Well, they did say he's ex-military or something, right?
He's ex-military, yeah. In the comics, the only thing, like his super wacky thing is that his face gets molded into that mask, so he can't actually take off the mask in the comics.
That's also what happens to Doctor Doom as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, Doctor Doom, like, ruins his face. There's different incarnations of Doctor Doom, but he ruins his face and puts a mask on it. Yeah.
But anyway, they basically set it up that Zemo is going to be the main... So Zemo, for those who don't remember, is the main villain from Civil War. He's the one that sets up the whole conflict, and he's back, and he's coming after Winter Soldier and Bucky. So in the comics, his character is this guy who wears a purple suit and a purple mask. And they're following that same trend for this TV show. So it should be interesting. The other thing is Emily Van Camp is back. So Sharon Carter's back.
Yes, my favorite character.
So she's in this show. I think that's all they said in terms of the panel. So that's the first Disney Plus show that's coming out. Disney Plus Marvel show. The next one on the list was Wanda Vision, which is also a Disney Plus show. That's the next one that came up. So this is coming out in spring 2021. The only thing that I got out of this one was that Monica Rambeau, who's the daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend, who was in Captain Marvel as a little kid, will be in this show. So I'm not sure how she fits in. Apparently she becomes Captain Marvel eventually. Couldn't be setting that up already because they've only had one Captain Marvel movie, unless they're already going to scrap Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, but I don't think that's going to happen, but she's in this show. And I think they had some footage of Vision and Wanda looking into this like really old TV screen, like a reflection of them in a 50s TV screen, and that was it. So maybe they're going through time or something. I don't know.
Well, I have a theory about this because the next movie is apparently led on from this movie. Not movie, it's a TV show. This miniseries. But we could talk about the next movie, then I can come back to this.
Yeah, so the next movie on the slate, the one that comes straight after this, we've kind of skipped one. There's one in between, but we'll come back to that because these two are related. The one that follows on straight on from this TV series, Wanda Vision, is Doctor Strange in the Madness in the Multiverse.
Madness of the Multiverse? Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah,
Multiverse Madness. Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, that's right. It's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's the official title. I saw the panel for this, so it was basically just Scott Derrickson saying that it's a horror movie, and then Kevin Feige was like, it's still going to be PG-13, but it is going to be scary, apparently, and...
PG-13 horror.
Benedict Cumberbatch basically just came out, and it was his birthday, so they just sung Happy Birthday, and that was it.
I saw that.
He didn't say much, but the big reveal was that Scarlet Witch was going to be in this movie as well. So Elizabeth Olsen came up and she said some stuff. Nothing important again. But so what was your theory linking the TV series to
well,
this?
There was news about the WandaVision TV series like ages ago, how it would travel through different points in time and be like, there'll be like a 50s setting and there'll be like an 80s setting or something, and there'll be different points in time. So I think that, and in the comics, Scarlet Witch has been known to create multiverses. So I think in her sadness that Vision's dead, she creates multiple multiverses to live with Vision. And I'm guessing in some way gets lost in there or something like that. And Doctor Strange will involve either him fixing up the multiverses, or maybe she's done something to stuff something up. So he'll have to go through the multiverses and, with her help, maybe fix them up.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting. And
I think something along those lines. So she's going to create multiverses, and then in that movie, they're going to have to fix them up.
Yeah. I think it will be similar to that. And the other thing they said was Mysterio was lying about a lot of things, but he actually wasn't lying about the multiverse. So the multiverse actually does exist.
I think along with that, the villain for this might be Nightmare. Only saying that because they say it's a horror movie as well. And Nightmare, it's a Doctor Strange
gives you
villain.
nightmares.
Kind of, basically. Yeah. He's basically gives you nightmares. That's basically it.
And horror movies try to give you nightmares, so...
I think Nightmare might be a villain in this.
That'll be quite interesting. So Scott Derrickson was saying that he only wanted to do another Doctor Strange movie if they could explore the multiverse, because that's what he was really into when he read this Doctor Strange comics. So that's why he came back to do this one. And his background is horror anyway. And
then we'll go back to one that we missed.
The one that we missed. So there's a movie that's actually coming out early 2021, February 20th, 2021. And that is a character that we haven't seen yet in this universe.
Maverick from Top Gun.
Maybe that's going to get rolled into the universe as well. But Shang-Chi is the one that they announced. Again, this is at the very early stages of development. But they announced a couple of cast members. So basically, the main thing that I am excited for in this movie is that they're going to have the actual Mandarin in this movie. So that will be really good. And
Tony Leung,
I think.
Leung, yeah.
Yeah. He's a Chinese actor.
Be lying if I said I've seen anything he's in. But apparently he's a very good Chinese actor.
I haven't seen anything that he's in, but I've definitely seen him because he looks very familiar.
Okay. I searched him up afterwards. Apparently he's good at martial arts, as most Chinese actors are, apparently. They're just very good at martial arts.
And Awkwafina's in it as well. They didn't say what her role was. And they also announced the actor playing Shang-Chi himself. He was actually cast. So basically, a week ago...
like a couple of hours before, wasn't he?
Well, a week ago, he auditioned for it. And then on Tuesday, he found out that he got the role. And then on the Sunday, the week after he auditioned, he's at Comic-Con. He's from Canada. The first thing he did when he came onto the panel was he just spoke in Mandarin for like a minute.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard about that. I did hear it. Does he have a Canadian accent, or has he got a Chinese accent?
No, he's got a Canadian accent. But in the movie, I'm guessing they're going to...
Yeah, I'm guessing you have a Chinese accent.
But yeah, he's pretty much Canadian. Like, he sounds very Canadian.
There was something I saw online in December of last year. it was kind of announced that Shang-Chi might be happening, and he tweeted at Marvel, he's like, at Marvel, here you're doing Shang-Chi, hit me up. And then he got the role, and then he retweeted that again today. He's like, damn.
What's his name again? Sim
Liu, was it? We should probably look it up.
The director also talked for a little bit, so he's Hawaiian.
Director's also Chinese, was he?
He's Hawaiian, but he's from an Asian background. And yeah, he gave like a bit of an emotional speech about how Marvel is representing all races and stuff.
Diversifying, yeah.
And the actor actually gave a pretty funny speech because he was like, my parents moved from China to Canada 25 years ago and they wanted us to achieve our dreams. And I just want to say sorry to my parents for not becoming a doctor.
It's pretty good.
He seems like a pretty funny guy. His name is Simu Liu.
Simu Liu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu.
Yeah.
He is also apparently very good at martial arts, which is key to his character.
It's probably why he was selected, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think more than acting, like it doesn't really matter how good you are at acting, but if you're going to play Shang-Chi, probably should be top-notch at martial arts. Do you want me to go through what I think is going to happen in this one?
Before you do, so they had a bit of a montage of all the times that the 10 Rings have appeared in the Marvel movies. So obviously Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, they were in there. And then also in Ant-Man, one of the henchmen had a tattoo with the 10 Rings. So they kind of, I'm pretty sure they didn't plan it this way, but they're like, we planted the seeds in all the movies and we're all leading up to this movie where the Mandarin would actually appear.
Well, I think in Ant-Man and the Wasp, there is the guy, I forget his name. What's that dude's name?
Walter Goggins?
Walter Goggins, yeah. He works for a bigger dude.
So you reckon that's the Mandarin?
Benefactor. He calls Benefactor?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be the Mandarin.
Okay.
Or the other option is that he's Norman Osborn, but I think it might be the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the main thing, but Shang-Chi, do you know a lot about him?
No.
I
don't know much about him at all.
I know a little bit about him. He's good at martial arts. He grows up in China, and his dad teaches him martial arts. Basically, he spends his life learning it, and he's like the best at martial arts in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any superpowers, just really good at martial arts. But he's known to like beat like superhuman people just because he's that good at martial arts. Origin-wise, his dad is evil. Forget his name. It's like Fu Manchu or something like that. I can't remember. Something like that. His dad's evil, and he like wants to take over the world or some shit. And Shang-Chi doesn't know that, and he works for his dad for a long time. And then he goes to kill this guy in London because his dad wants him to. Then he finds out his dad's evil, and then he kind of switches to being good. I think that they're going to twist the origin a little bit and have his dad be the Mandarin, and then he'll be working for the 10 Rings. And they'll go through like a montage, or, well, they might, of him working for the 10 Rings through time. And then he'll switch eventually, and he'll find out that his dad's evil, and then he might have to go against him. So I think it's going to be something along those lines.
That could be interesting.
So I think the Mandarin's going to be his father, probably.
And this movie's going to make a lot of money.
Yes,
even if it's
going to make a lot of money.
It's going to make a lot.
China will eat this one up. Do you think this will make more than Black Panther?
It might. It actually might, because basically they're going to get China on board, and there's a lot of Asian people around the world that will just watch this movie. So,
and then just Marvel fans in general.
And then Marvel fans in general who are... Yeah. And Marvel does really well in China already. So, yeah. And that was without an Asian superhero. So I think it's going to kill it.
They just got to make the martial arts kick-ass. If the martial arts is good in this movie, then it will just be... That'll be the best thing. Haven't seen a good martial arts movie in a while.
The Raid?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Apparently it's amazing. But
apparently it's really good, yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the next show on the slate, and that is Loki. So they confirmed that this show is the Loki from Endgame, specifically from 2012 in Endgame, where he gets the Space Stone and he warps away somewhere. So it's the adventures of that Loki.
Who is obviously still evil.
Yes, yeah, who is still evil. So this is before he goes through his arc of in Ragnarok and all of that. So yeah. It's still the mischievous Loki.
This is meant to be like a anthology kind of series where he goes through time just messing with people. I think that's what it's going to be. Well, that's what they said it's going to be.
And they confirmed that Tom Hiddleston is back. So he's going to be...
I think he's the narrator, isn't he?
I don't know. They made it look like he was in it.
Okay, yeah.
So they made it look like it was him. So I think it will be him.
I think he's just going to go through time and do some mischief. I don't think it will be anything too major for the overall universe, but should be fun. I think it might be comedic more than anything.
So this is coming out spring 2021. The other thing is the logo is quite interesting. I don't know if there's something hidden in this logo because it's
got different kind of symbols, doesn't it? And they're made of different things.
Yeah, so it must mean something.
I haven't had a proper look at it, but it looked interesting. I've got to say, all the logos look amazing.
Yeah, they do. My favorite one's still yet to come. I'll say it when it comes. But yeah, they all look really good.
Your favorite one's Top Gun Maverick, isn't it?
I actually haven't seen the logo for that one. Does it look good?
It's alright. It's alright. Just imagine what it would be. That's probably what it is.
Next one on the slate is the What If animated series, which is also coming to Disney Plus in summer of 2021. So this
I think that'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah, so this is a bit of it's not in the continuity, it's just a what if. So in the comics, they have what if scenario comics where they kind of say, what if, I think one of them is Peggy Carter takes the serum instead of Steve Rogers, so she becomes Captain America. I think that's one of the stories they're actually doing in this. But they got a pretty extensive voice cast for this, so they've pretty much got everyone. From what I could see, they got almost everyone except the two most expensive people.
Robert Downey Jr.
and Chris Evans. I'm not sure I don't think Scarlett Johansson was on it either.
Well, I think maybe those are the two people that are just out of contract. So they just didn't recontract them because the rest of them are still in contract.
But yeah, Hemsworth was in it. Pretty much everyone else was in it. Josh Brolin was in it, so Thanos might make an appearance in this as well. I think there's about 30 people that were involved.
I think it'll be good fun.
And it's been a while since we've seen a good animated show from Marvel. The last one is probably Avengers
Assemble.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble wasn't bad.
It's okay.
It's alright.
Hopefully this will be better than that.
The next one on the slate is Hawkeye. So Hawkeye, another Disney Plus show. Based on this, will you get Disney Plus?
I think the one that I'm most looking forward to is Wanda Vision, and I think I would get it just for that. The other ones I'm like, yeah, they look okay, but definitely for Wanda Vision, I would get it.
I think that will be good, and obviously because it leads directly into Doctor Strange, so that's an important one. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye looks good as well.
I think Hawkeye will be quite good because it's basically they said that it's him. Jeremy Renner's back, so it's him training Kate Bishop, who is the new Hawkeye, who's going to be the new Hawkeye.
I hope it's not the same. We've been through this before, but I hope it's not the same actor as Endgame.
No, I don't think so because what's his name's Clint Barton, right?
Yeah,
and they said it was Kate Bishop, so it's not his daughter.
Oh, it's Kate Bishop. Oh, it's not his daughter. Okay, good. Because I hate that chick.
So I think we'll see more of Hawkeye, and there's a possibility that we'll probably... I think we will see Hawkeye when he was Ronin as well. More of that pre-Endgame, so between Infinity War and Endgame. So we'll see a bit of that, and then we'll see a bit of training of Kate Bishop.
Possibly get Kate Bishop as Hawkeye in the movies.
Yes, yeah, we could probably see that. And I think Jeremy Renner was saying that Kate Bishop is the better Hawkeye, so she's meant to be better skilled, have better skills than him. So that will be interesting. I'm just interested in Hawkeye because I think we haven't really seen enough of Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. I feel like we need more of it.
I hope it's a bit more comedic because Hawkeye's meant to be pretty funny. So I hope it's got that kind of dry humor in it.
Do you think he'll keep the haircut?
No.
He's going to revert back to his old haircut?
Most definitely. Mostly because Jeremy Renner doesn't want to walk around with that hair in day-to-day life.
They must be putting a lot of money into these Disney Plus shows because they're pretty much getting all their actors back.
The thing is that they're only going to be like mini-series, so like 6 episodes, which is good because then they're not going to spend 5 episodes doing filler shit, which is what happens to most TV shows. But yeah, it's a mini-series where it's like 6 to 8 episodes, each one an hour long, and that will be it. That takes as much as filming a movie would. It won't be too much more expensive than just doing a movie.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. You left a long gap between when I said that and when you said that.
I was just digesting what you said, you know.
Yeah.
You said a lot. And the last thing that they announced on the slate was one that we we just talked about like 2 days ago. I think the news came out that this was happening. But the thing that was more surprising was what they announced at the slate.
What's the title?
The title as well.
The title's interesting. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest. It's a bit cheesy, but it's very Taika.
So what we're talking about is the movie that's coming out on November 2nd, 2022, Thor, Love and Thunder.
I think it's like a comedic title. It's not meant to be taken seriously. If it's meant to be taken seriously, it's not a good title, in my opinion.
The artwork for the actual title itself, it looks like it's...
Looks good.
Looks like it's like Metallica or something. It looks like some heavy metal logo.
Just based off it looks like it's going to be a very funny movie.
But the biggest thing from this announcement was that Natalie Portman is back. I don't think anyone expected that.
No, because she did come back for Endgame, so...
Yeah, even the most optimistic of Marvel fans wouldn't have expected it. So a bit of backstory on this. So in the latest comics, the powers of Thor are with Jane Foster. So Jane Foster is Thor.
So basically, in the comics, similar to the movies, Thor goes through like some existential crises, and he finally there's a comics line called Unworthy Thor, where he basically becomes unworthy and he can't wield the hammer anymore. He loses the power to wield it, and in his place, Jane Foster actually wields the hammer, and she gets the powers of Thor. And initially Thor's pissed off because he's like, who the fuck's this chick taking my powers? But then he sees how Jane uses her powers, and he's like, okay, you can be Thor, and I will be Odinson. So he changes his name to Odinson, and she becomes Thor. And then the comics is called The Mighty Thor.
That's right. Yeah, and that's what Taika Waititi said he was reading while he was filming Thor Ragnarok. So that's where he got his inspiration from. The other thing is the hammer doesn't exist anymore.
No. So I don't know how they're going to do it.
Mjolnir doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to do it.
But she did walk onto stage with Mjolnir.
Yeah, well, she walked onto stage and they gave her Mjolnir. Taika Waititi gave it to her.
Maybe they're going to make it again? I don't know. Because it is her origin as Thor is very much steeped in the hammer. Unless they change it to Stormbreaker. I don't know. But anyone can wield Stormbreaker, so it doesn't really make sense for her to.
They must get another hammer. Doesn't Beta Ray Bill have a hammer?
He does have a hammer. So it could be Beta Ray Bill, and then he dies or something, and then Thor can't lift the hammer and Jane can, or something like that.
I hope he doesn't die, though. I hope they don't just introduce him and he dies, because he's a pretty cool character.
That'll be pretty funny, though.
Yeah, I want to see Beta Ray Bill in this movie. I hope we see him.
But it looks like they might do Jane Foster Thor after Chris Hemsworth's done, which might be pretty interesting.
I think they're going to do it. And looks like Natalie Portman's back.
But the question is it going to be for one movie, or are they going to do more afterwards?
She needs to hit the gym a bit.
Jane Foster? Well, the character's not that buff. If you look at the comic, she's
not that
massive.
buff. No. But she's not like Natalie Portman.
She's not too far off Natalie Portman.
Well, I guess, yeah, it's not that far off. Oh, did you want to explain who Beta Ray Bill is? For those who don't know.
Yes. Beta Ray Bill is this guy who looks like a buffalo. Is it a buffalo?
I think it's a horse.
Is it a horse? Okay, yeah.
On a man's body.
He has the same worthiness that Thor has. That's basically, him. And in the comics, he wields Mjolnir and also his own hammer, which I think is called Stormbreaker.
Yeah, so in the comics, he actually has Stormbreaker.
But it's not the Stormbreaker in the movies. It's different.
Yeah, so look, it's good that they're digging deeper into their comic book lore. I never expected them to do Jane Foster Thor.
No, I didn't either.
It never looked like Natalie Portman was going to come back, but I guess it was probably after all this success of Marvel, it's probably in her best interest to come back.
I think it's the reason she left it was, let's be honest, Jane Foster wasn't a great character in the first two Thor movies, and she wasn't given all that much to do, which is why she didn't want to come back. And then in the third Thor movie, they didn't really need her back, so they're like, yep, you can leave, basically. And the only way she would have come back is if they give her something big to do again, and something major to be a part of. And this is definitely that, if they're going to do her becoming Thor.
I don't know if they had that in mind when they casted Natalie Portman in the first place, but they probably didn't.
I guess in the back of their mind, they always knew it was a possibility.
It's a possibility,
but they probably definitely didn't think, let's cast her because she would be good as Thor.
I don't know, because she's a pretty big actress just to cast as a female love interest. I feel like they must have.
But they do cast big actresses as the female love interest most of the time.
I guess so. Like Rachel McAdams and...
Rachel McAdams, the chick who made Goop.
Who?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking of.
but she did have a pretty important role in the end, like throughout all the
decently
movies.
important.
Yeah.
Who else are the love interests? Lupita Nyong'o, she's a big actress.
I think she'll have more of a role to play, though, going forward as well. And she was pretty important in that movie as well. But yeah, like Natalie Portman just won an Oscar when Thor came out, so it feels like, I don't know, did they really need an Oscar-winning
backwards
actress?
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, she's back.
She's back, yeah. I think that was the biggest news of the day. So we thought that was the end, and basically they showed the slate. That was all the movies on the slate.
It's like an afterthought that the rest of the stuff came.
Kevin Feige was like, he said that's all we have time for. But then he's like, we didn't have time for Fantastic Four, Mutants, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians 3, and Black Panther 2.
Did he say that's all we have time for? But confirming Guardians 3, Captain Marvel 2, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
still,
he's like, and it's definitely not enough time to talk about mutants. I think that's what he said.
Like he said the movies that are already in production first, and he's like, we definitely don't have time for Fantastic Four and or mutants. That's what he said. Yeah. But then it looked like he was just going to walk off the stage. But then he's like, but we have Mahershala Ali here, and he just walked onto stage, and he's like, it looks like you've got a cap as well, and he put on a cap, and it said Blade on the cap, and then the lights went off, and Blade came on the screen. And then they just walked off the stage. That's
pretty sick ending. Yeah, that's good production. They've done well there.
He didn't even say anything, Mahershala Ali. I think he just put the cap on and he just...
I read a story about this afterwards. Apparently Mahershala Ali contacted Marvel asking if he could play Blade.
And they're like, okay.
Proposing Blade. Yeah.
He'll be good.
He's good. He's a good actor. He was in the Luke Cage TV show.
Oh yeah, he is, but that's not
until
canon
they
anymore.
unceremoniously killed him off halfway through the season.
Technically, that is in the universe, isn't it?
Yeah, but they never mentioned it.
But yeah, no, I don't think any of those shows are canon anymore, so it doesn't matter.
No.
But yeah, he'll be really good. The only thing is, Blade is very much it's
an R-rated.
Yeah, he's like Deadpool level violent character.
Yeah,
we'll have to see how they do it.
Maybe it'll be an R-rated movie.
I don't think so. I think Kevin Feige was saying... Well, he was saying that Doctor Strange will be PG-13. And I think they'll stick to the PG-13. Because they want to keep the audience as large as possible for these movies.
Yeah. They want to make as much money as possible, I guess.
I guess they could still do it. It will just be toned
less
down.
Money.
I guess they could still make it, but it'll just be toned down.
Well, they're obviously still going to make it because they announced it. I think it could be a bit more of a horror movie as well. Like, I think that's a good way to do it. Like, very much vampire. Well, he's a vampire hunter. If you've seen the original Blade movies or if you've read the comics. Yeah, so he's a vampire hunter that wears sunglasses and dresses like Neo from The Matrix and just goes around killing vampires.
Slashes vampires to death. They were saying that he might actually appear in Doctor Strange, possibly. If there's vampires in Doctor Strange and they're going like horror movie for Doctor Strange, he could possibly appear in that movie.
I would think that's cool. Yeah, I would like that. To be honest, I'm not overly excited for the Blade property because it's not like a character that I like that much. Mostly because I don't like those movies. I know a lot of people do like those movies.
He's meant to be British, I'm pretty sure.
Who, Mahershala Ali or Blade?
Blade.
I'm not sure.
I think he's meant to be British in the comics.
In those movies, he's not British.
No, well, he was Wesley Snipes in those movies, so...
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go the actual traditional comic book route in this.
I think the reason I don't like those movies is because I only watched them, like, way after they came out when I was a lot older. Like, when they were 15 years old. And they definitely don't hold up. I think if you watched them at the time, you would enjoy them. But now, they're just shit. Especially the third one.
I can't even remember any of them, to be honest. I just know there's this scene where they're all CGI. Like, there's this action scene where they're all CGI.
And it looks so bad. Yeah, that's in the second one, I think. Yeah, it's in the second one. Ryan Reynolds is in the third one.
He's been in all the bad comic book movies.
The third one's genuinely bad. It's a terrible movie.
But yeah, I don't think anyone was anticipating seeing a Blade. There are a lot of people that are a fan of Blade, the character, but we weren't expecting a Blade movie. I thought we would see something else.
Something else before Blade, but I don't know. It's a good change of pace. I think doing a bit more horror properties is a good thing for the universe. It's not just the same thing over and over again. Not saying that Blade is going to be a horror movie, but I think it would be good if it was a horror movie.
So that's what they left us with.
Do you want me to leave you with a Blade story to finish off?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of what Wesley Snipes used to be like on the Blade set?
I've heard. So I think he was actually committed for the first one, and then it gradually got worse and worse.
No, he's committed. He's very committed. So in the third movie, this is what Peyton Oswalt, who is a fellow podcaster and a movie actor, he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. Anyway, he was on in Blade 3, and basically Wesley Snipes was so deep in character, and he was a method actor, and he would only be referred to as Blade on set, and he refused to talk to the director or any of the other cast. And when he had notes, he would write it on a little yellow post-it note, and then underneath he would sign it as Blade, and then he would give it to the director. Was
it in red?
No, just in regular writing. But he used to always stay in character for the whole time, and he stayed at his like caravan most of the time. What are they called?
Yeah, the caravan. Yeah,
the caravan. Yeah, stayed at his caravan most of the time. Only come out for when he had to shoot. And if there was any shots that he didn't have to do, when they did show his face, he would tell them to use a stunt double. So every shot that you don't see his face, it's not him.
Wow. Okay. There's even a scene in those movies where his eyes are CGI'd. Have you seen that? His eyes are CGI'd.
It was like the early 2000s where they would CGI anything they could get their hands on. So they just CGI everything. But the funniest part of that is that he made everyone refer to him as Blade, which I find hilarious.
I wonder if Mahershala Ali will follow in his footsteps.
No, hopefully not. But can you imagine like Ryan Reynolds like trying to talk to Wesley Snipes, and he's like, "Hey Wesley," and he wouldn't reply, and he would be like, "Hey Blade."
Interesting story. I think that's all we had in terms of the Marvel panel. Anything else in SDCC?
Top Gun Maverick.
I saw the trailer. It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks very 90s.
It looks like just a Tom Cruise movie.
It does. It looks like Mission Impossible with jets.
I thought someone else was meant to be in this movie. Is it just him? Is it just Tom Cruise?
It's got, what's his name? It's got other people in it. He was in the trailer. I think Val Kilmer is in it for a little bit. I don't think he's a main character. He was Iceman in the first one. It's got some younger guys in it, some new pilots.
I thought Zac Efron or someone was meant to be in this movie, but
not Zac Efron. Someone else. Can you look it up? It's got someone else in it. He was in the trailer for like 2 seconds. Did you find out who it is?
Miles Teller.
Is he in it?
Yeah, apparently he's in it.
Okay. Who else is in it?
So it's got Tom Cruise, obviously, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm.
John Hamm. He was the person I was thinking of.
Val Kilmer is in it, briefly, and Ed Harris is in it too.
Is Ed Harris in the original?
Not sure.
No. Val Kilmer is. I know that. But anyway, Top Gun Maverick, he's back. It was It Chapter 2. That was alright.
Oh, I guess we should talk about our favourite trailer of all time, Cats.
Oh, shit. Jeez. I woke up to this on Friday morning and it changed my life. It literally changed my life. I look at things in a different light now. My life will be characterized as before the Cats trailer and after the Cats trailer. It changed me. What do you think?
Yeah, so after I saw this trailer, I wanted to figure out what was actually happening. Like, is this like a real thing?
It very much confused me. It was confusing.
Yeah, so I looked up what the musical is about and what they do in the musical. And they've pretty much just brought the musical to film. So that's how they dress in the musical. That's how people dress in the musical as cats. So I thought they would have just used CGI cats or something like that, but
just don't make this.
But they've just done the musical style on screen. So
yeah.
It's got a good cast though.
It's got a very good cast. I hate musicals. I do not like musicals at all.
Like musical movies or just musicals as in stage musicals?
Musical movies.
Okay.
And I haven't seen a musical stage play before, but I assume I'll hate them as well.
Do you like Lion King?
Yeah, but I don't characterize that as a musical.
Well, a lot of the Disney movies are musicals. So Frozen is a musical.
I don't characterize those as musicals. Although the music isn't my favorite part of those movies either. I'm thinking of like...
Greatest Showman.
Yeah, Greatest Showman. Hate that. Like Les Mis? Nah. Shit. What else is there? Like Billy Elliot? Nah, fuck off. All those I hate.
Basmati Blues.
I haven't seen it, but I assume I would hate it.
It's got Brie Larson singing, so yeah.
Yeah, nah, already hate it. Do you like musicals?
I like some of them. If you count the Disney ones, I like a lot of them, but I didn't mind La La Land, and Greatest Showman was okay. I didn't mind it. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's as good as everyone says it is. Les Mis is a bit sad. I can see why people like it. It's well made and the music's good, but yeah, it's a bit sad.
I just hate musicals. I don't know why. I just do not like them at all. Whenever someone breaks into music in a movie, I'm just like, nah, fuck off.
What about Grease?
Grease, nah, fuck off. Terrible. I haven't seen Rocket Man yet, but I assume I'll hate it.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Haven't seen it, but I assume I'll hate it.
There are some good musicals.
There are some good musical movies. There are. I just hate all of them. Hairspray, fuck off that shit.
What's that? What's the one about ABBA? Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, nah, fuck off. Terrible.
What about Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again?
Even worse. Even worse.
I think that's all we had San Diego Comic-Con related.
There's some other stuff, but nothing major.
Nothing major. DC's not coming this year.
DC TV was there, but I stopped watching those shows ages ago because they made too many of them and it was too hard to keep up. So I'm like, fuck off, I'm not watching these anymore.
I think they announced some animated movies which looked interesting. I think there's a Batman one and a Superman one or something. I think they looked okay, but yeah, nothing major. And I think they were going straight to DC streaming or something, which we don't have. Which I think they're going to close down soon as well, because I don't think it's doing very well.
Yeah, because they're making a Warner Brothers streaming service. So I think it's all going to go to that instead.
Okay, I think that's it on San Diego Comic.
There's probably a lot of other stuff that if you like niche stuff that you'll probably enjoy. Well, not you specifically, but you listening.
Yes, the listeners may enjoy.
Yeah. The listener, you may enjoy.
Yeah, if there's anything that you want us to check out, just let us know
or that we might enjoy.
Yeah, because we do enjoy this stuff, but we can't keep abreast of everything. So do let us know. Should we go back to the Who Am I? You said you know who this is.
120% you know who it is. You
said it was 300 before, so it's coming down.
Yeah, it's coming down a bit because it's late. It's getting late. I'm getting tired.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
All right, so I'll recap the clues. I have the unique ability to duplicate physical movements that I've seen, something I call physical reflexes. I combine these skills with a set of weapons similar to those used by superheroes to transform myself into a dangerous villain. Eventually, I decided that training criminals made more sense than committing crimes, so I set up a series of academies to train henchmen. I am 188 centimeters tall and weigh 100 kilograms. Who am I?
Pretty sure it's the Taskmaster.
It is Tony Masters, who is known
as the Taskmaster.
Who's known as the Taskmaster, yes.
Yeah.
Who we will be seeing in the Black Widow movie.
Black Widow. So I hope he carries a Captain America. We didn't really talk about him because I knew it was the Who Am I. So I'm like, I don't want to ruin your stupid Who Am I shit. So I'm not going to talk about him until the end. But hopefully he carries a shield, the Captain America shield, because he carries a replica in the comics.
Yeah, so he does have a shield. Yeah. And apparently in the footage he had the shield, but I don't think
Captain America shield?
It was a shield. I don't think it was the shield. I don't think it was the Captain America shield, but it was a shield.
And I assume he's going to copy a lot of the moves that we see from other superheroes previously, especially Captain America. I think he's probably going to copy a lot of his moves if he's got a shield. Maybe he's got wings like Falcon and stuff as well. And he's definitely probably going to have a bow and arrow like Hawkeye.
Okay, so it'll be like a combination of all the...
Yeah, which will be super interesting to see.
Anything else?
No. Which one are you looking forward to the most?
Out of all of them?
Barring Top Gun Maverick, because we know that's number one anyway.
And Cats.
And Cats, yes. Yes. Why was Cats at Comic-Con? That's
I have no idea.
Stupid.
I have no idea. And it's coming out this year as well.
Yeah, whoever thought bringing Cats to Comic-Con was a good idea needs to get shot.
I think the one I'm most looking forward to is probably Doctor Strange. Because it's a new... They said it's a horror genre movie, which will be really interesting. I've always wanted to see a superhero horror genre movie. Like, it would have been good to see like an Avengers-style horror movie, but they're not going to do that now. But yeah, I think Doctor Strange, Madness in the Multiverse, I think that will be a good one.
Yeah. Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
You nearly got your wish for a horror movie, superhero movie with New Mutants. And if that ever comes out, you might still get your wish.
Well, I also want a good movie, so I don't think that's...
How do you know that? How do you know that's not going to be good, man?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I shouldn't jump to conclusions, you're right.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding my breath, because I might die, because I don't know when that movie's going to come out. I might be holding my breath forever.
It's never coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out when the Channing Tatum Gambit movie's coming out. They're both coming out at the exact same time.
And I guess Brightburn was a horror movie.
Horror superhero. Yeah.
But was it I guess it was a superhero movie. I still haven't seen it, by the way.
He's not a hero, though. He's more of a villain. So.
Yeah, that's right. I think Doctor Strange is the one I'm most looking forward to. But again, Thor will be really cool as well. Shang-Chi I'm looking forward to. There's not a single movie that I'm not looking forward to on this slate. So
Cats.
That's like my most anticipated movie of this year. Yeah.
Can't wait for Cats.
Yeah.
Are we going to review Cats?
Well, I think we've sort of committed to it now, right?
Okay.
Kind of have to do it now.
Well, I can probably review it right now. I fucking hated it.
Well, you never know. You're going with low expectations.
We'll come back to this in 4 months or 5 months' time, whenever it's out. Answer will be the exact same.
We might have some Cats fans on.
No one is a Cats fan. If you're a Cats fan, you're 100% not listening to this podcast. I'll give you a 90% guarantee that no one's listening to this podcast that's a Cats fan. Because they're all over the age of 50.
Okay, so if you're a fan of Cats, I just want to prove Taran wrong, because I reckon there's someone out there that's listening to us that might be a fan of Cats. Do let us know.
There's no one. There's absolutely no one.
Which is the movie you're most looking forward to, excluding Top Gun and Cats?
Probably Doctor Strange as well, although I'm very much looking forward to Thor. But the reason Doctor Strange, because it's looking like it's going to be something different. I would like to see something different. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Shang-Chi will be interesting as well with the martial arts.
Yeah.
I think that'll be pretty cool.
I think I'm just more of a fan of recent times, I'm more of a fan of horror movies. So, I didn't used to like horror movies. I've recently started liking them, although I don't watch that many of them.
I think both of us weren't really fans of horror, but recently they've made some good ones.
I don't watch that many of them, but I do like them. So, hopefully this one's a good one. Martial arts movies haven't been a thing for ages. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So, if people want to get in touch with us and let us know which one of these movies they're most looking forward to, how do they do it?
So, they can hit us up on our socials at Cognitive Recalibration on Facebook and Instagram, at Cognitive Recalibration Podcast at gmail.com, or on Twitter at CRecalibration.
And we're available pretty much anywhere that you can get podcasts. If you haven't listened to any of our previous episodes, we just did one on Stranger Things 3, and we've done quite a few other reviews, Marvel reviews as well, so check them out. And give us a like on our Facebook page, because we update all our latest podcasts on that, as well as whatever else we're up to. If you have liked our page, you would have seen some of the updates we had on San Diego Comic-Con just this morning. I was just sharing some of the stuff as they came out onto our Facebook page.
Didn't share Top Gun Maverick though, which is very disappointing.
I think that came out a couple of days ago, didn't it? I should have shared it. But yeah, you'll get some news on our Facebook page as well. So that brings us to the end. Next episode, we're going to be reviewing The Lion King. We both haven't seen it yet. We were going to watch it yesterday, but we didn't.
We both don't want to watch this movie. Well, I don't. Do you want to watch this movie?
I want to, but I feel like it's just the same movie. So I've got the Blu-ray. I can just watch it at home.
Should we just watch the original Lion King and review that instead? It was on Go last night.
Oh, was it?
We could have just watched it on Go last night.
Go being a free-to-air TV channel in Australia. Yeah, I heard it's just a rehash of the original, but done worse. So do we really need to watch it? But we'll watch it.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, because apparently it's smashing the box office open. So
People are stupid.
apparently it's going to do
We're
200
stupid.
million opening weekend.
200 million?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What? I thought you said 200 billion for a sec. I'm like, no, that's not possible. There's not that many people on Earth that would watch this movie.
No, apparently it's going to do 200 million opening weekend.
Inevitably going to make $1 billion.
Oh, easy. I think it will be
And-
approaching it will be the second highest grossing movie after Endgame this year.
They're just going to keep making these movies. And
Did you see the Mulan trailer?
yeah, it was okay. Doesn't have any songs in it. I actually like the songs in Mulan. It's the one musical that I like, and they've taken the songs out of it.
And I also like Mushu as well. And apparently they got rid of him.
Looks like it's like we're back in 2008, and they're making dark and gritty versions of everything, except it's Disney properties.
So that brings us to the end. Thanks to everyone that is listening to our podcast, and keep telling your friends about it. And give us a review if you can on iTunes as well. Till the next episode, thanks for listening, and we'll see you for The Lion King.
Bye.
See ya.
Hello, it's Brooke Devard, host of Naked Beauty, and I could not be more excited about Kate Spade New York's summer collection. They are celebrating 30 years of the brand, and the Kate Spade New York design team really outdid themselves with this summer collection. There's a gorgeous lemon-inspired raffia bag that I love, and the Bahamas sandals. It's a low heel with a feather detail at the toe. Take me on vacation immediately so I have an opportunity to wear these. Go to katespade.com to shop the Kate Spade New York summer collection now. I promise you're going to find something incredible for your summer outfits.